My eyes deceived me? Oh
Who
my
the hell is this?
Wait, who's that?
I'm back. I cannot believe.
Wow.
I cannot believe how awesome that intro was.
Yeah, thanks. You can thank Joanna for that.
Yeah. I think the last time you were on the show, we were in black and white, right?
The last time you were on the show, Zach was in diapers. Wait, he still is.
I had hair. It was, amazing.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
no, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. But how you been?
Been good. Been great. COVID's been awesome. But I've kind of not really been following sports for the last 6 months, which is
great. Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. You haven't missed much.
But I cannot believe you guys decided to do a show on an Islanders potential clinching night.
I wanted no part of this, but whatever.
Well, the last time we did a show was actually Game 6 against Penguins.
I wanted no part of that either.
And they won. So it's like, all right, Game 6 at home, clinching. Let's do another show. I mean, let's keep the streak alive. I mean, the Islanders are up 2-1. About 7.5 minutes left in the second period. The New York Saints, I should say.
Exactly.
New York Saints.
Is McAvoy still out?
No, he's back in the game now.
Back in.
Yeah.
Do you guys know he's from Long Island?
Apparently, I mean, if he has Pierre McGuire, he knows everything. But let's not make the show a whole Islander watch party. We have a lot of things to discuss. But we're going to talk about baseball first. I mean, why? But let's bring in our guest from SNY, Anthony McCarron. Anthony, how's it going tonight?
Good. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming on. I saw Spider Tack open up for Stone Temple Pilots back in 1994. I don't know what this whole deal is about. Oh, 3-1 Islanders now.
There we go. Oh, yeah, see, I'm on a delay. You can't do that.
I'm on a delay, too. This is ridiculous.
Wait, there's more breaking news.
What's up?
Rudy Gobert just won NBA Defensive Player of the Year.
Nobody cares about basketball.
Yeah, but that's his third in 4 years, though, so it's kind of cool.
Nobody cares.
Mets are up 8-1. That's what I got on.
Ben Simmons was snubbed.
All right, so let's talk about let's start with Spider Tack. Let's talk about this spray and what it's allegedly doing to the baseball, the lack of hitting in the league, and what's the league? I guess what's the league's position on this right now?
Well, I mean, to me, it's a lot of saber rattling. Sticky stuff has been around for a while, obviously, and pitchers have been using it to, basically have a little more control over the ball in some cases. And there's been kind of a gentleman's agreement for that to be done as long as you're not obvious. Remember Michael Pineda from, 6 years or so ago?
Yeah, his neck.
Glob on his neck. Yeah. So as long as you weren't super obvious, you could use it. And, most pitchers were doing something along those lines, but this has exploded now. MLB looked the other way, and the competitive animals who take the mound in Major League Baseball have decided, if you're not going to police the sticky stuff, I'm going to find the stuff that really, really works. And we now have ways to measure how much that stuff works in terms of spin rates with all the Rapsodo and TrackMan cameras, StatCast, all that stuff. A lot of it is publicly available on StatCast, what a pitcher's spin rate is, whether it goes up or down during a particular start. So there's all this data out there now that you can see how it's affecting pitchers' abilities. So, now they're in kind of this fix where, to me, MLB kind of dumped it all on Garrett Cole's lap yesterday,
Yes.
And kind of made him the face of this, scandal, really. And, who knows? It strikes me a little bit as MLB, doesn't mind if you're talking about, a few players doing something as opposed to talking about how, offense is at a terrible low right now. The game is based on the three true outcomes, pretty much, walk, strikeout, or homer. And, there's not a lot of action. There's not a lot of offense, and some fans are very dissatisfied. So there's a lot going on. And there's also, to me anyway, there's ties to the looming, what I like to call labor apocalypse with MLB. And this all ties in. And, MLB has now sort of put this smart bomb into the players union that has Josh Donaldson and Garrett Cole, to name two guys, hitter versus pitcher here. And there's some division within the ranks of a union that they're going to have to collectively bargain with for a new CBA after this season. This is going to have a lot of legs, and there's a lot going on here, and we haven't come close to hearing the end of it.
Yeah, I never wanted, obviously, lockout strikes in previous situations, but do you feel baseball actually needs one this time?
I don't know. That is a slippery slope to me, because you remember all the anger that there was from fans in 94 and 95. So I don't know if the game can afford it. I think it's inevitable, but I think they ought to work really hard at making sure it doesn't happen. The sides just, I mean, distrust is like the nice way to put what's going on between the two sides.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't imagine that they can come to something without some real threat and real stare downs coming. I don't know what good it would do the game, because I feel like, I mean, look, there's a certain generation of fan that loves a game like the NBA because it's faster and it doesn't take 4 hours to play a 5-2 nothing game in May. There's something about the action and that sort of thing, the immediacy that baseball is losing its grasp on, which is why it has such pace of play issues. I don't know if a strike, which would turn off so many fans who are in a different, an older generation, I don't know if that would be any good for it.
I guess because it just seems like there's a lot to fix right now, and I don't know how. And Rob Petrie says, I'm sick of now baseball. I'm sick of now baseball's already been toyed with. It just feels like there's no offense anymore. And everybody's like, well, with the shift, guys can just, learn to hit the ball the other way. Yeah, okay, maybe 20 years ago they could hit the ball the other way, but everyone who comes out of the bullpen is throwing 99 on the inside corner.
Right.
How are you hitting that the other way? And other sports have a legal defense. Basketball, football, to name two, have illegal formations and illegal defense. Is it time for baseball to look at the shift and maybe tweak that a little bit? Maybe all your guys can be on one side, but they have to be on the actual dirt. No short center fielder anymore. What do you think they can do with that?
Well, that is certainly something that they need to look at. My hesitancy there is, and I get what you're saying about, it's not so easy to just say, hey, hit the ball the other way. Right. But I've seen so few players willing to bunt against the shift. That's so true. Few players willing to actually even try to beat it. They just there's so many lefties, especially, who just pound balls into that web that's in right field and short right field, and it's ridiculous. I mean, look, the game has evolved in so many different ways over the long history of baseball that I wonder if they paid more mind to trying to beat the shift, if it would even things out a little bit. I mean, look, bunting for a hit, I mean, sometimes it's not a great strategy, but if they're giving it to you, why not? What are your chances against all those velocity freaks to put together 3 or 4 hits in an inning to actually score a run if you don't get that one guy who walks and then 2 strikeouts later somebody else hits a home run? That's what constitutes a rally nowadays. Right. So why not try to bunt? I don't know. I know it's not that easy, and I know that players are paid. Home runs are the home run hitters drive Cadillacs. I mean, Ralph Kiner said that, and I get it, and it's still true today. But there's got to be. I feel like there's been so many things that they've done to try to, affect the basics of the game. The suggestion to me to add an extra foot to the mound. I mean, but have pitchers throw from 61 feet or 61.6 is just ridiculous. Making such a big deal out of, the putting up the 4. So, for pace of play reasons, that's going to make a difference. And rather than outlawing a shift, I'd rather see them maybe limit the amount of pitchers you can have on a staff, which would cause managers to use their bullpens differently and pitchers to be required to pitch deeper into games. Right. Now we're holding parades for a guy who goes 3 2/3 scoreless so he can get it to the middle 95 plus guy, so he can then get it to the 6th inning guy who throws 98, and then so on down the bullpen pecking order.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, can I play devil's advocate? And you're absolutely right. You just touched on it there. I think that pitchers don't go that deep anymore. But again, to play devil's advocate, I'm just looking at the scores from yesterday: 10-3, 5-3, 9-5, 6-2, 5-1, 7-1, 5-3, 9-4, 6-1, 8-4, 10-1, 8. There, I mean, runs are being scored, but I don't understand why there's such right now like an emphasis on pitchers have such a they're so dominant over the game in general, because I mean runs are being scored.
Right. The average is as low as the year of the pitcher. It's right around that same neighborhood. The overall average in Major League Baseball, 237, I think.
And the OPS is way down too.
Right. Yes, absolutely. But guys do still hit home runs.
Right.
And I think that's probably why the scoring is up over the year of the pitcher in 1968 by, I think, a run per game. I mean, that's not the steroid era, average averages, but it's better than 1968, which they had to make a fundamental change and lower the mound. But yeah, I think the problem is the lack of action. I think that's what really grates on people. And if there were things happening in a game, you could put up with a 237 batting average.
Right.
We all hate batting average as a stat.
Yeah, and you mentioned year of the pitcher. There's a pitcher this year who's could be arguably the greatest pitcher.
Yeah, let's talk about something good.
Yeah. We're a few Yankee fans here. We got one Met fan, so but we're all marveling at just how great Jacob deGrom's season really is. I mean, we took a pitcher's not going deep. I mean, I guess really that's the only knock. No fault to his own, but I mean, just talk about how crazy it's all been this year. I mean, his numbers are just like mind-boggling.
It's incredible what he's doing. His ERA going into his start on Friday is, I think, 0.62, which is the lowest in a pitcher's first 9 starts of a season in history. I mean, the very fact that we are bringing up his season right now, and obviously there's a long way to go, many innings to pitch, a lot of zeros for him to put up on the scoreboard. But the idea that people are even invoking the name Bob Gibson from 1968, who finished the season with a 1.12 ERA, the modern record. Somehow Bob Gibson lost 9 games. I don't know how that happened, but I'm sure deGrom can sympathize with that.
He had the same bullpen.
Yeah, right. But just the fact that that's happening is remarkable. I thought Howie Rose had something I thought pretty brilliant on Twitter the other day when he urged Met fans to consider what deGrom is doing now and the career that he's having, that he is authoring. This is Tom Seaver-like. So make sure you go and see him pitch live because it's that kind of a thing. And I remember I was a kid when Tom Seaver was at the height of his powers. And anytime we went to a Met game, I was hoping against hope. I wasn't following the probable pitchers every day, but I was hoping against hope that Seaver was going to pitch. Of course, it was always Koosman, which was I don't want to say a consolation prize because Jerry Koosman was a hell of a pitcher and is deservedly getting his number retired by the Mets this year. But he wasn't Seaver. No one was. And now we're seeing Jacob deGrom, who is, Seaver-esque. And so, the moral of the story is in Howie's tweet, get out to the ballpark to see this guy. He's pitching Friday night against the Padres. They've jacked up the capacity at Citi Field to something like 33,000. I mean, that's event status. And every time this guy pitches, it is, he is a freak, and it's a pleasure to watch.
Yeah. I saw this crazy stat the other day. I can't remember the exact numbers, but his first time through the lineup, the opposing batting average is about 150. Second time about like 159, and his third time they're like 0.5. Like they're batting 50. It's like he gets better as the game goes on. It makes no sense on any level.
Right, and analytics has made managers, like once you get to that, the third time through the lineup, you got to come out of the game.
Right. Yeah.
Blake Snell in the World Series, right? I mean, you can't. This guy it can't happen. And meanwhile, deGrom is like 101, 101. Slider at 92. Steve Gelbs on SNY had a great nugget a few weeks ago after talking to the pitching coach that, Jeremy Hefner loves deGrom's curveball. he never throws his curveball. He doesn't have to throw his curveball because the other stuff is so incredible.
Right.
And yet he still has an elite level curve.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Before we get to the Yankees, just one thing that just popped up as we're having this conversation, and especially with young players, because as I was looking at the league leaders, and I was looking at the rookie, and there's for the most part, the rookie class this year has struggled a little bit. No one is really setting themselves apart. The position players. Do you think not having minor league baseball last year hurt some of these guys' development?
Absolutely. That is something that we're going to see the reverberations of for quite some time, I believe,
right.
Because the arrival times for some of these guys to get to the major leagues, I think, is going to be there's a crimp in it, and because of that. And look, I don't, I know they were doing the best they could at the alternate site,
yep.
And the lower levels, there was no options for these guys. But if you were at the alternate site, at least you were getting some competition. But it's not the same when you are, the heartbeat is not the same in those kind of games as it is when you are. The other uniform is different. You're in a different ballpark. It counts. It's a different kind of thing. So, listen, we're going to be figuring out stuff from the COVID season at the major league level, and certainly with development at the minor league level as well. And I wonder if we're going to see guys who we believed were going to be great prospects and possibly be impactful major leaguers just kind of fade away. I mean, that happens anyway, but right. I wonder if more guys will be susceptible to that because of last season and because of just the weirdness of it all. And then you wonder if somebody takes advantage of it too and makes themselves into something that nobody thought he was going to be.
Well, it's starting to go to the Yankees. I guess whenever the Yankees are struggling, the greatest remedy is playing the Minnesota Twins. They beat the Twins yesterday. Now they're up 5-1 with Cole on the mound, so that was pretty good. But going back a little bit, I mean, was this team poorly constructed by Brian Cashman? I mean, for Yankee Stadium, the short porch, to put out all those right-handed hitters, it's just a very weird team this year. The pitching staff, I mean, a lot of reclamation projects. I mean, Corey Kluber had the no-hitter great. Now he's gone for a while. A lot of faith in James Tyon. We all know Garrett Cole, but the pitching staff is kind of mishmash. The bullpen is great bullpen.
The pitching's been okay for the most part.
For the most part, I mean, the bullpen has been very solid even without Zach Britton. But the lineup, I mean, we all kind of figured DJ LeMahieu would kind of take a backseat a little bit, not like this. I mean, he's taking a big hit, but the other big guys, I mean, we can't get Stanton and Judge in the lineup, too many days. I mean, superstars don't take that many days off. And it seems like Aaron Boone is giving these guys a lot of days off.
Yeah, I mean, Stanton is a weird case with that because you're right. At one point he was unstoppable earlier this season. And then he got hurt again, as usual, as he always does. And that's why they go so overboard with the days off, because they're afraid of that 60-day injury with him. So I can, it's frustrating, but I can see why they do it. You just wish now that he's come back that Stanton would produce a little bit, and he hasn't, since he came back to play. To me, the Yankee problem is, look, offense is down this year in general, but this is ridiculous.
Right.
What's happened with their offense is it's cataclysmic. I mean, DJ LeMahieu looks nothing like he has in the past. Is that all the ball? I don't know. Gleyber Torres, he's been better lately, but he hasn't been great. He's not really a shortstop. You can always wonder if his defensive issues, of which there are many, even though he's had streaks where he's been okay, then he's got setbacks defensively, and you wonder how many times he takes that to the batter's box with him, and that's a fair question to ask. I'm a little. It is a little weird that they don't have a left-handed hitter. They don't have more of a left-handed accent, because they are, traditionally that has been something that has driven that team to great success in that ballpark. Their counter to that would be, well, our right-handers, hit the opposite and the same side, pitching, well enough, and we can hit to the opposite field. Those guys use the right field porch too, blah, blah, blah. And it's true. Judge does. They're just not doing it enough. And it looks, you feel like a lefty would help. And it isn't there yet.
I feel like a guy like Anthony Rizzo would be like the perfect fit in that stadium and that lineup right now.
Well, that'd be great. And could they use a first baseman too?
They could really use a first baseman.
That is a huge problem for them. And look, when as the trade deadline stuff heats up, I mean, you wonder what's the biggest priority for them. Is it a center fielder? Is it a left-handed bat? Is it more than one left-handed bat? I mean, to be honest, I thought that they made a serious mistake, and I'm not pitching Mike Tauchman as, Mike
Totally
Trout light.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
They never should have given him away for a relief pitcher especially because the Yankees have developed a lot of really good pitching prospects. If they need, a guy, they need a reliever for like the 12th guy out of the bullpen. They had him in the minors. They didn't need to make that trade. Right. It doesn't matter. Whatever, roster machinations made that into a necessity. They should have kept Mike Tauchman. He was out of options. So that made him obviously more difficult. But that was, to me, he'd be their everyday center fielder now. He'd be doing more than Brett Gardner. And, that would have made things look a little less ugly anyway. Crazy to say, right? That's how bad it's been.
I know.
Coming to the rescue, riding in on the white horse.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got everybody who's watching. Please check out Anthony. He's a regular on SNY's Geico Sports Night and Baseball Night in New York, which is a great show. If you like New York baseball, that's a great show to watch. It's just Yankees and it's just Mets. Well, Mets and Yankees. I always Mets first. But home of the Mets. But definitely check him out on that show. And Anthony, we appreciate you coming on so much. We really do appreciate it. Oh,
you bet. It's always a treat. I appreciate you guys having me on. And go Islanders, right?
That's exactly. You understand. You get it.
Exactly. The orange and blue. Yeah, exactly. All right. Thanks, Anthony.
We'll have you back on during the deadline when we're still screaming about the Yankees.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, there'll still be plenty to scream about.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
All right. Take care, fellas.
Thank you. And that was Anthony McCarron of SNY. And it was great the way that worked out because with deGrom pitching so well and the Yankees being terrible, and those are the two teams he covers every day, I'm like, I think it would be good to get Anthony back on again.
Yeah, absolutely. So update 4-1, second intermission.
Yeah.
The third period is going to be fun. I'm sure it'll be 4-3.
All right, guys. Good seeing you again.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is great. Dan left. Oh, he's back.
It will. Don't.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we got a few minutes before the third period starts. So let's talk. What do you want to talk about hockey-wise? You want to talk Lightning?
Let's talk.
Do you guys want to do the Hall of Fame? Want to save the Hall of Fame for next week?
Whatever you want to do, Dan.
Well, no, you're the producer, so I want your feedback.
Let's save that for next week. So
we'll save okay. We have a Hall of Fame segment that we're going to do. We'll do it next week.
Let's do Hall of Fame now because I really have no idea what's going on. I know that Vegas is ahead of Colorado.
That's true.
Yeah,
which is shocking to me. Not shocking.
So a friend of the show, Rob Petra, who you see in the comments a lot, me and him were playing a little game of, do you think this guy is a Hall of Famer right now? These are guys later in their career. Most of them are over 35. If they retired right now, would they be Hall of Famers? So I'm not going to give you any stats. I'm just going to give you a name, and you guys will say yes or no, and then I'll give you some stats to maybe reinforce back. I got 5 names here. All right, you guys ready?
Let's go. Yep.
All right. So Michael, I'll start with you. We'll go Michael, Zach. We'll go Michael, Noel, Zach. All right. Yes or no? Is Eric Stahl a Hall of Famer?
No.
Okay. No. Okay. Zach.
No.
Okay. I actually agree with all of you, but 6-time All-Star, 870-plus point seasons, 1,034 points, and he's Canadian. So, they love the good old Canadian boys from the fucking farm. So, statistically, he's going to play a couple more seasons. Right now, he's probably not a Hall of Famer, but in a couple of years, he might be just because he's compiled enough bullshit points for him to get in. Should he be in over a guy like Alexander Mogilny or Pierre Turgeon? Absolutely not. But his numbers might dictate it. However, he is a minus 78 for his career. And I don't really go nuts about plus minus unless you're like plus 300 or minus 78. That kind of does stick out a little bit. All right.
Was the minus 78 all from being with the Sabres this year?
No. Some of it was from Carolina too.
Okay.
No, I think like minus 77.
His last year in Minnesota and Buffalo did not help him, but he was still a minus player when he left Carolina.
Okay.
All right. Next player. Is he a Hall of Famer? Mark Giordano. Michael.
No.
No? No. All right, Zach.
I'm going to say he is. I'm going to say yes.
If you look at when I give you some numbers here, I might change you guys' minds. I think he is. And once you look at these numbers, you dig in a little bit. It's like, wow, this guy's had a great career. He's a little bit of a late bloomer, but statistically, 510 points in 900 games. That's very good for a defenseman. Most defensemen who get 500 points end up in the Hall of Fame. 3-time All-Star, 5 40-plus seasons, Norris Trophy winner, and Mark Messier Award Trophy winner.
Yeah,
that's a good resume.
No, yeah, he's in.
All right.
All very good.
I changed my vote.
Nah.
Okay.
Is that like every Jet? Or are they just in the Hall of Every Good?
All right, next guy. All right. Is Ryan McDonough a Hall of Famer?
No.
No, you don't even have to go to the stats. It's a no.
No.
I don't care. I don't care if he has 1,000 points a game. He's not a.
Well, what's your criteria for a defensive defenseman to make the Hall of Fame?
You have to be good.
You have to be good. Couple Norris trophies.
It's impossible to win a Norris Trophy as a defensive defenseman. We know that now.
Yeah, but no, I disagree.
Okay.
Is Victor Hedman like a super offensive defenseman?
Yes, he's had 60 points multiple times.
Yeah, but he's a good defensive defenseman too.
I mean,
he is, but I'm just saying it's impossible for a guy who gets 35 points in the season to win the Norris now.
PK Subban won the Norris. I mean,
yeah, he had like a 60-point season that year.
So did Brett Burns. I mean, that's why
he scored like 30 goals.
Right? I agree with all that. He's a 3-time All-Star, a first-team All-Star once, 3 40-plus point seasons, and 320 points in 700 games, and a plus 146 in his career. Led the league in block shots 3 times.
No.
Wait,
the league in block shot 8 times, and that won't do anything.
Yeah, you love to bring up how block shots are overrated.
I agree they're overrated. I'm just giving you statistics.
By the way, those are awesome stats. I just there's something about, forget the stats. There's just something about certain players that he's just not a Hall of Famer to me.
No, I get that. I guess my question with this, because I think McDonough is a good example. How are defensive-minded defensemen going to get rewarded when they're done?
Right, that's a good point.
Because there's no reason Brett Burns should get any Hall of Fame consideration over Ryan McDonough. I think we all agree Ryan McDonough is much better at his position in his prime.
Yeah.
I agree.
But people will look at Brett Burns' stats and say, oh, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So what does a defensive defenseman have to do to get into the Hall of Fame, I guess is my question to the board.
Just be consistent.
They can't. I don't think they can anymore.
And that sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's
Because
actually
arguably one of the best defensemen in the game is Adam Pelech, and he can't sniff a Norris vote.
No.
But if you watch him play every night, you're like, wow, this guy's one of the best defensemen in the league.
That's actually a great point. What does a defenseman have to do to get in the Hall of Fame? It's pretty much impossible.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, next player. Blake Wheeler.
Woo. Blake Wheeler. No.
Okay.
I don't know his numbers off the top of my head. I'm going to say no as well.
Okay. Zach?
I'm going to say because of his age and where he is right now, I'm going to say yes.
His numbers are better than you would think, and I think he'll end up with over 1,000 points when his career is done, because it seems like 1,000 is always kind of the marker to get consideration for the Hall of Fame. A 3-time All-Star, 4 70-plus seasons, 807 points in 940 games. That doesn't blow you away, but if you look at his point per game, that's pretty good over a career.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, no one scores 100 points anymore.
Exactly. So about a point 5 is pretty good.
It's pretty good. So you think that's like 100 points back in the mid-90s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's probably not in right now, but if he gets a couple more 60-point seasons, then he might have a chance.
Yeah, maybe. It comes down now to what is the Hall of Fame, and
exactly.
Who are we letting in and who are we not letting in? And I mean that's a great season. A great career.
Great career,
and it's still going, like you said.
Right.
But what is the Hall of Fame anymore? I mean, you're talking about people.
When you're letting guys like Guy Carbonell, what are you? It's like you kind of change everything.
Seriously.
Right.
Well, like I said, McGinley's not in the Hall of Fame, so what?
But Guy Carbonell is. And no offense to Guy Carbonell. He's one of the best defensive forwards ever. And he should be rewarded for being one of the best defensive forwards ever. But I can't put him in the Hall of Fame against guys who changed the game like Alexander McGinley did.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. And this one's good. This one's for Michael. His resumes awesome.
Andre Kopitar?
No.
I know exactly who he's going to say.
He's a first ballot. First ballot. Jonathan Quick.
Oh, no. That was awesome.
Wow. You know, my heart wants to say yes.
But my body,
Yeah.
my mind's telling me no.
My
I can't do the song with the pay for it, right?
I would say no.
No.
It is impossible for goalies to get into Hall of Fame. I think, 35 goalies?
Curtis Joseph's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so I'm going to say no. And not because he doesn't deserve to, but it's impossible for goalies to get into Hall of Fame.
Zach.
You know, I'm going strong. I'm saying yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going strong.
Yeah.
His career save percentage is only .913, and his career goals against is .241. Now, in most eras, that's really good, but in this era, that's kind of league average. However,
did he win a Conn Smythe?
However, I'm going to read his resume. However, his playoff save percentage is a .928, and his goals against is a 2.23. He's a two-time All-Star. He's won a Conn Smythe. He's won 2 Jennings trophies. He has 6 30-win seasons, and he has over 300 wins.
And 2 Stanley Cups.
And 2 Stanley Cups.
And
so while if you look at his underlying numbers, they're not great, but his accomplishments are amazing. Very similar to Jonathan Toews. Jonathan Toews, his stats don't blow you off. They do not blow you out of the water, but you know he's making the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He has a lot of Billy Smith in him. Because
he absolutely does.
Regular season numbers, usually platoons, and then he would come alive in the playoffs.
And also, let's not forget that I forgot what was he drafted in 04 or 06?
Yeah, 04, I think, right?
04, yeah. I mean, he played on a very, very bad team for a very long time.
Can you put up this comment from Carly? It's hilarious. I want to read it.
What's that one?
Dan is on it tonight, but I can't tell if you need a burrito because you're hangry or you're just excited about the topic. I am excited about the topic. I appreciate Rob Petro for hitting me up with this topic idea. If any of y'all have topic ideas, hit us up, and they end up on the show just like this. But to answer your question, Carly, I can always eat. And that's the first thing I'm going to do when the show's over.
Angry. That's hilarious.
Wait, you know what? This made me. I have 2 names now that I want to ask you guys for the
All right. You have stats? You got stats too? You got the names up?
I have stats in front of me, yeah.
All right, good.
All right, the first one is Pekka Rinne a Hall of Famer?
No.
Dad?
No, because I'm just going by the Hall, and they don't let goalies in.
Curtis Joseph's not in.
It's ridiculous, so I'm going to say no.
He's a 2-time All-Star.
Okay.
He's won a Vezina, over 369 wins, 243 goals against, and a .917 save percentage.
Those are average.
And
Say now, but boy, 369 is a lot of games to win.
He has 3 40-win seasons, and what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 30-plus win seasons.
I think he's a Hall of Famer, but he's going to have trouble getting in.
Yeah.
All right, and then I have one more. Is Corey Perry a Hall of Famer?
No,
just because I hate him.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either.
He's won a cup, 2-time All-Star, Rocket Richard Hart Trophy, played 1,094 games, 386 goals, 432 assists, 818 points, and what is this? He has a 98-point season. 4 70-plus point seasons, 6 50-plus.
Yeah. I think Getzlaf's a Hall of Famer. I don't think Perry is.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome, Courtney. I'll get you some Preds content.
Actually, here we go. Since we're talking Preds, can you have a hockey reference up?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's one, and you type in his name after I say it. Roman Yossi, is he a Hall of Famer?
No.
I love Roman Yossi. I think he needs a couple more years to do it. But I don't know.
He's still how is Roman Yossi? Like
33, 34?
Is that old?
I think so, yeah. Michael tells. I think he is a Hall of Famer. Good, Zach.
I think he might be. You mean right now he's not? But
no, but he can.
Yeah, right now, no, but he definitely can be.
He's projecting that way. So how old is he? First of all,
he's 30. He just turned 31 8 days ago.
Oh, he's younger than I thought. Okay,
he's in his prime.
He's a baby.
He's won in Norris. He's a 1-time All-Star. 446 points, 117 goals.
That's a lot.
He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 50-plus point seasons, two
Wow.
60-plus point seasons.
What's his career plus minus? It's got. I know it's huge.
His career, 55.
Oh, it's not. It's lower than I thought. Okay.
He's had
He needs one more year. He's going to end up with over 600 career points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll end up being a Hall of Famer.
And he's got a cool name.
What?
This was a fun topic.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should do this with baseball players and football players too.
And lacrosse players.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wait, so Dad, because Haha Clinton Dix is a cool name, is he a Hall of Famer then?
Absolutely. That's a
How about he hate me?
great name.
How about he hates me?
He hate me. Yeah.
Oh, you already know it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go watch the rest of the game. I don't think
All right, everyone, thanks for watching.
All
We'll
right.
see you guys next week.
Boys. Good to be back.
Bye. Thanks, Vartan. We love you.
Let's go out. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go, baby. Let's close it up.
Now, if the Islanders win the series, what do you say? Like Tampa in 3 next week? That's
all the experts will think.
Everyone's gonna predict. Yeah, it's gonna be.
No, after the first game, they'll be Tampa. Even if the Islanders win, they're like Tampa's winning this already.
I want no play. We have no. Unfortunately, yeah. Whatever. We're
All
playing with house money when you play Tampa.
Exactly. See you guys next week.
All right. Take care.
All right, thanks everyone.